The if function is one of the most useful functions in Google Sheets, but that doesn't mean you should use it. Too often, people write formulas that look like this when what they really wanted was this. The problem isn't that if is bad. The problem is that it's often used to do something another function was designed to do better. So in this video, I'm going to show you the alternatives to if, as well as how and when to use them. And you can grab the practice file that I've linked in the description for you if you'd like to follow along.
To start, you'll often see something like this, nested if functions to run multiple tests. In this example in particular, you're testing different data fields to assign a specific status to each invoice. Instead of dealing with all these if functions and getting lost in the parentheses, you can simply use the ifs function. This function allows you to run a test and follow it with a calculation or a result. Then you just repeat the process for all the tests that you want. In this example, we'll test if the paid amount matches the invoice amount, and return the status paid if that's true. Then we enter the next test. Is today after the due date? If so, return overdue. If not, test if the paid amount is 0. If so, return unpaid. And finally, we enter true for the last test to make the last argument the default value, which we'll set to partially paid. No dealing with extra functions or parentheses, just one function to run all of the tests. So, when running multiple tests, use the ifs function instead of if. Next, let's look at a scenario where you're testing a position number like a ranking, rating, month number, etc. You might be tempted to enter something like this with multiple if functions checking the number and returning a specific result. But since we're working with a rating here, with the possible options being 1 through 5, then using the choose function makes a lot more sense. You reference the rating once, then enter the values that correspond to each option. If the number is a 1, you get the first option. If it's a 3, you get the third option. This is much easier to both read and follow than having multiple if statements bundled together like this. So, if you're testing a single input value that happens to be a position number, like a rating, ranking, or month number, then use choose instead of if. The next situation where I see if overused is when you're trying to run different calculations based on a selection. For example, changing the selection here changes the result below. Instead of using if with all of this nesting in parentheses, you can just use the switch function. You reference the selection once, and then enter the potential value and the calculation that you want it to perform after that value. So for total revenue, do this. For total sales, do this. And finally, the last argument is just the default result that you want. So, anytime you want to perform a different calculation based on a specific selection, use the switch function instead of if. Now, this next one is gonna blow your mind with how much easier it is. You've got some data, and you want to assign specific values based on a reference table. Specifically, you're assigning a bonus amount based on the amount of sales that each sales agent has made. If they made at least 50 sales, their bonus is 500. If they made at least 150 sales, their bonus is 1,500. Too often, I'll see something like this with multiple if statements checking each scenario. Instead, you can just use the XLOOKUP function. For the first argument, select the value you want to compare to the minimum values in the table. For the second argument, select the minimum values, and make this an absolute reference as well so that it doesn't change when we copy the formula down at the end. Then, for the third argument, select the result values, which are the bonus amounts, make this an absolute reference, and for the fourth argument, this will be the default value in case that there's no match, so that would be 0, no bonus. Finally, since we're testing if the sales numbers are at least the minimum to get a match, enter a -1 for this fifth argument. Now, if you were testing the other way around, maximums instead of minimums, and looking for matches that are at most the maximum, then you'd make this last argument a 1. But since you're testing minimums and numbers that are at least the minimum, we enter a -1. Then close parentheses, and that's it. Just copy the formula down to get all of the bonuses. The XLOOKUP function looks at the total sales number, compares it to the minimums, and matches the largest minimum value that is less than or equal to the sales number. Or in other words, it looks to see where the sales number is at least the minimum, and it returns the corresponding bonus amount. So anytime you're comparing something to a table and pulling a result from that table, use the XLOOKUP function instead of the IF function. Now, the last big instance where if is certainly not the function for the job is when you're trying to count or sum specific values based on specific conditions. For example, if you're trying to count up invoices based on their status, instead of using if to create a helper column and then counting up those values, it would be much more efficient to use COUNTIFs. So watch this video next where I cover both COUNTIFs and SUMIFs in depth so you can master them quickly and start using them right away.